Hey, welcome back to another ballistics gel test. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're shooting 9mm from a 16-inch barreled carbine. And more specifically, we're going to be shooting Underwood Ammo's 9mm Luger Plus P 147 grain hard cast lead bullet, and that's rated at 1100 feet per second out of a pistol. And the test rifle today is going to be the Henry Homesteader 9mm carbine featuring a 16.37-inch barrel. I've got a Vortex Spark 2 red dot on top, and we're going to be testing velocity from a mere 7 feet to try and get the best rating possible without destroying my chronograph. We'll be taking 3 shots from 25 yards, firing into 10% ballistics gel that has been calibrated to meet the FBI's ballistics testing protocol. And while ballistics gel isn't an exact proxy for big game, it does provide a repeatable medium through which to test various bullets and ammo against each other. After the shots, we'll examine bullet expansion, weight retention, penetration, and velocity. My goal is to provide hunters like you and I with the most objective information possible to help us make the best choice for our particular hunting situation. The ballistics gel in this video has been sourced from Clear Ballistics. You can find a link in the description. So let's go ahead and shoot this thing and see what 9mm out of a carbine will do. And we're down here at the blocks after shooting that Underwood 147 grain hard cast plus P stuff out of the Henry Homesteader. And I am really glad I decided to put 4 blocks back to back because we needed it. That is absolutely insane penetration for a 9mm regardless of what you're shooting it out of. And here's the side view. We actually caught all 3 bullets. I was worried one was going to slip out the side, but we got all 3. There's 2 right there, and then there's 1 on the other side of the blocks over that way. Let's take a look at penetration. And it looks like, so here's this one. It's a little bit hard to see. It looks like we got 48.5 inches on that one. These other 2, we got about 49 and well, I'll call it 50 inches actually on this one right there. And in this one, we are right about 50 and 7/8 almost. We'll call it 50 and 3/4. And let's go ahead and take a look at velocities for that Underwood 147 grain hard cast stuff out of a carbine. The high was 1249, the low 1217, and the average was 1229. And here we're looking at those 9mm plus P 147 grain hard cast flat noses from Underwood, and this will be a pretty easy review here. As far as retained weight goes, we had 100% retained weight. They were 147, 147, and 146 grains respectively. And who knows, that one that was 146 could have just been a hair lighter right out of the box. It's really hard to tell. So 100% weight retention. And expansion, same story. 0 expansion. They completely held together. They did not expand, and they're not meant to. So these did exactly what they were designed to do. And then for velocity, we saw a high of 1,249 feet per second, a low of 1,217 feet per second, for an average of 1,229 feet per second of velocity. And that is a bit of a bump from the factory build velocity of 1,100 feet per second. So we did gain 129 feet per second by shooting these out of a 16-inch carbine as opposed to a pistol. And then we have the penetration. This is really where this ammo shines, and this is what this ammo is meant to do, is penetrate deep and hold together. The average penetration was 49 4/5 inches, so over 4 feet of penetration. Absolutely astounding out of a 9mm. And respectively, we saw 50 and 3/4 inches, 50 inches, and 48.5 inches. Final thoughts on the Underwood 9mm 147 grain hard cast plus P load. This load did exactly what it was designed to do, I think. We saw a little bit extra velocity, and I think that has to do with it being a plus P load. It's loaded hotter, it's got not necessarily more powder, but it's got more boom to it, so it can take advantage of that extra barrel length and really wring out as much velocity as possible. So we got over 100 feet per second extra velocity as compared to a pistol, at least per factory spec. Over 4 feet of penetration, and that's what you want to see with a hard cast lead bullet. That's the idea. That's the goal. If you want an ammo that can really penetrate and you've got a 9mm carbine, this stuff is definitely the ticket. I wouldn't really hunt with it on purpose per se. I'm not one that's going to take a 9mm carbine and deer hunt with it or anything like that. But say I had it in my ATV or something, I'm riding around the property and I happen to see some smaller feral hogs, something like that, I think this ammo would be well suited to a situation like that, dropping some smaller feral hogs, coyotes, stuff like that. I think this would do really well. Just be advised what's behind your target, because this bullet's going to go through. So I've got a little bit of bonus footage here for the Underwood 147 grain hard cast lead plus P9mm load. I went ahead and set up some blocks and test fired 3 shots out of my Glock 19X to see how deep they would penetrate from a pistol, and it looks like we got some absolutely spectacular penetration. And I fired 3 bullets from approximately 7 yards, 7 paces away, and it looks like we captured all 3, and we got one at 51 inches, one at right at 52 inches, and one right at, well, it's a little past 53, about 53¼ inches. Absolutely incredible penetration from a nice heavy bullet out of a 9mm. Hey, if you enjoy these videos, check out my website, masonleather.com, and get yourself some leather gear handmade by me just for you. I've been handcrafting leather gear for hunters for over a decade, and I would love to make you something. The link is in the video description. And check out my channel for more hunting ammo ballistics gel tests.